Live the home selling dream. Call Brock in the KW Selling Team. Go to the KWSellingTeam.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Brock Fletcher from the Selling Team with Keller Williams Real Estate Company. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk about home affordability. And I hear a lot of people now talking about how unaffordable it is to buy a home now compared to what it was like back in the 1980s and 90s. And I think that's a narrative that's not grounded in fact. Statistically speaking, people still spend about 35% of their wages for living. And that statistically has not changed a great deal in the last 30, 40 years. And I think it's important that we look at what that typical situation looked like back in the 80s. And I'm going to use my family as a specific example. We had one vehicle that my parents shared. And when we finally got two vehicles, one was the good vehicle and one was the cruddy vehicle, meaning we had one that was kind of nice, that was the family car, and we had one that was basically a beater that could break down at any point in time. Number two, and I did have a stay-at-home mom, and my dad was the sole provider of income for our family. We never ate out. Whenever we got a special treat, it was typically on my dad's payday, and we ordered a pizza. Other than that, we never ate out. So there was no buying coffee, there was no Starbucks, there was no, you didn't buy bottled water. We packed our lunch, we ate meals at home every day. Life just looked a lot different, right? And so what I'm trying to get across is what people remember as the good old days of home ownership or whatever back in the 80s and 90s. That's such a different world to compare now to. And statistically speaking, it's just as easy. The American dream is still just alive and as well as it has ever been. Statistically speaking, it doesn't cost any more in terms of your total income to buy a home in today's dollars, in today's real estate market as it did back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so that might be the first time you've heard that, and yet it's a conversation that it's important to recognize. And I can help you with any questions you might have about that. If you're struggling with understanding how you're going to afford a home or you don't have a plan, that's what I'm for. I'm an expert at understanding somebody's financial situation and helping them build a plan for success. The journey begins with a phone call to me, and my cell number has remained the same for many years. It's 517-303-3262. Let me help provide education for your journey. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Live the home selling dream. Call Brock in the KW Selling Team.